Here we are. So what we know right now is that it is Satau first place. We got Mihai second place. We got Vivian third. Viper likely to go fourth. Dragonstar likely fifth. Dark sixth. Now, the only way that changes in this final series of the group is if there's a 3-0 on either side. If Viper 3-0s, Viper will go into the playoff position, get third place, and we'll see more from him. If Mihai wins 3-0, Mihai goes to first place, but then Viper gets relegated. So there's a lot of things that can happen here. Dragonstar is going to be watching this, rooting for Mihai. But yeah, Viper's back's against the wall here, at the very least, to at least make playoffs, Orlu.
Yeah, and I mean, it would be so strange to see a playoffs without Viper, just as it is going to be strange to see a playoffs without Mr. Yo.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was already determined, like, what, not a couple of weeks ago, but like a week ago at this point. And it really just shows that maybe we do have a bit of a changing of the guard. As like, this isn't one of those tournaments where, okay, you get an unlucky bracket, you have a rough series, and then you're out. Like, you have to play a lot of games, and that really, I think, goes to show that it's probably one of the better formats of determining player skill level these days.
Yeah, and I also think, I also think it. Well, you know what? I don't know what I don't know what to think. Sorry, my brain's going a bunch of different directions because I'm seeing the Civ matchup here. But no, I agree. I mean, there's pros and cons to every tournament format, but players who struggle with consistency from set to set have struggled in this tournament. And I think in other events, you might be a Viper or Mr. Yo, and you can underperform maybe the first week or two, but you're up against a level that is much lower than you, and you win anyways, right? But in TTL, you're up against the best competition every single week, and that's been the issue for Viper. It's been better every single week, but it hasn't been like Mihai, where Mihai's just been insanely sharp. His strats are all prepped, and you can just tell he's putting a lot of time and effort into the game. So we've got Spanish here, which is actually the highest win rate in all of TTL seasons over the 5 seasons, which might surprise you, Orlu. It doesn't have the highest pick rate or highest play rate, but when they're played, they do well. And what do you think about the pick here for Reverse Acropolis?
Well, first, it's interesting that we're seeing Reverse Acropolis at all. I mean, I've casted a fair amount of this tournament, and we really don't see the map all that often, and I kind of thought it would be pretty popular, as it's just kind of a pretty normal land map.
Yeah.
A little bit more aggressively inclined, but you can full wall yourself in, unlike regular Acropolis. But Mihai's going to be going for the Civ that could very easily try and drush Fast Castle, and to your point about Spanish, I mean, it's such a specialist Civ. You don't play Spanish unless you really like Spanish and think that they'll be effective.
Yeah.
There's no, I'm going to play Spanish because I think that they're the best Civ for the map. There really is no map like that. So I think that the people who really like Spanish find those situations where the Civ can thrive, and they perform.
I kind of like it because people tend to really forget that you can do other things than conquistadors with Spanish, and it can sometimes dominate someone's whole strategy on the other side, right? Like Viper right now could be thinking, oh my goodness, he could be going Fast Castle, and Viper might not scout for the drush timing. Viper might not expect what's coming. Now, as I say that, Viper scout's very active on the front, which you'd love to see, and Viper will see the boar and actually see the barracks. So that's a really good scouting from the Viper. And I've been critical of him just not knowing what's coming his way this season has been such a theme, and now he knows.
He does, and this is not a small commitment drush. This is the 3 militia coming in. He actually doesn't even have the gold for Loom right now, so he's going to need to gather 10 of that before he clicks on up to Feudal Age. But is it possible that we could actually see a drush Fast Castle in the year of our Lord Doubt 2026?
It is. It's
Will we be blessed on this fine day?
It actually wouldn't be the first time. Mihai did this same thing, drush Fast Castle into Conquistadors against Dark in, I think, like the first or second round. So he was vulnerable. He did get pressured, but it's coming back to me now. It's the exact same matchup that we saw. That was also Wei versus Spanish. And we also had the Wei player going to Feudal Age, trying to play in towards like Feudal Age army. Eventually, Dark ended up going forward with towers. But, I mean, if you wall up here, you've got nice gold positions. You have enough wood. The stone will be available as well. I mean, drush Fast Castle unique unit, definitely on the cards.
Part of me wants Mihai to just, like, go around the TC. Like, just go for it, man. Go towards the wood line, but no. He's playing it nice and cautious here against Viper, who does have his own militia on the way. I'm not sure if this was always his plan or just a reaction to the very early barracks of Mihai. I think either way, this is going to be fine for Viper because the way eco is so powerful. It's the reason we see the Civ picked so often. It's such a flexible economy, right? You just get those extra villagers, and those villagers can be used to do anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
So you can just feel that, okay, I'm going to mirror you, and I'm going to be ahead as the way player.
Yeah, now, it's really uncommon to see any type of Drush Fast Castle with any Civ, right? Like, even Drush Fast Castle, like Crossbowman with other Civs, is not even doable anymore. No one does it. So, I think it's important to restate here, because Viper's just like, oh, okay, he's going to go Drush into, like, Archers with Spanish. At a certain point here, there's got to be a little bit of, like, a light bulb going off in Viper's head. If he doesn't see Mihai's in Feudal Age for a while, all the memories of the fast castle builds we used to see gotta come back to Viper on how he needs to deal with this.
I think really Mihai's just trying to gaslight Viper. He's like, I'm going to pick your color, and I'm going to go for the strategy that, you haven't seen in years, and we're just going to throw you off your game.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do, man?
I mean, normally I say high risk, high reward when you're the underdog, but it's a weird one where this season, I don't even know if it's fair to call Mihai an underdog. And then also at the same time, I think that Mihai already did it before. Like, it won before. It's not like some random strategy he's just doing that he hasn't labbed out. So, by the way, I want to address something here, okay? Because we got people freaking out. Viper's not in yellow.
Oh, I see.
Okay? Here's the deal. If you look at the TTL handbook, okay, there is a line on page 111. It is on the third paragraph, second line, and it says, in the event of a color tie, meaning two players prefer to pick a color, the player who is ahead in the group stage going into the series gets the color tiebreak, okay? Go read the handbook, people. I'm sorry. They both consistently pick yellow. They're the only two players who always pick yellow. I know Viper's got the reputation, but if you want Viper to get yellow, he's got to show up before Mihai for once and be the host. Maybe they'll race into the lobby in the next one, and Viper will steal it back. I don't know, but... anyways, we move on.
The drama, the tension in this series is just going to the bursting point. Is we actually have Militia here in the base of Viper. He's got an Archer out to help protect here, but Mihai, he is mining stone T90, but it's not really a pretty amount of resources. It's not enough for a fast castle.
Yeah,
It's not really enough to do a whole lot of anything with right now.
Well, and the nice thing for Viper, as you said, is his eco should be very smooth because he gets the additional vills. And it's just a calculated aggression type approach from Viper. If he were to send villagers forward, that would hurt his own economy. But he's forcing reactions. But, I don't know, if you're Mihai, I guess you kind of take this. Having said that, I'm seeing a lot of issues here. He's just gotten housed. So, after losing that house, he didn't plan ahead. Now he's getting Town Watch. His militia aren't really doing too much to Viper at all. Viper could be through this house, which, again, could give him housing problems. So maybe it's a bit of shakiness for Mihai.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a first game of the day vibes. It comes with the yellow color picking. But Town Watch is here. You're getting a little bit of extra gold as the Spanish. And what's really jumping out to me is actually the fact that Mihai is ahead by 300 resources over the way, and that's with Viper getting his eco upgrades. So Mihai, despite maybe a little bit of inefficiency here and there, is still fundamentally the player with the more streamlined economy.
I mean, he is housed again, but I guess it doesn't matter if you're on the way to Castle Age. Yeah, Res Collect is really deceiving here, because it's also, like, what have you invested your resources into? And for Mihai, it's Castle Age, and not a whole lot else, and the castle will take some time. Viper's got plenty of working farms. Viper will only increase in that count. But yeah, if the goal for Mihai was to get to a castle without losing vills, he probably is going to get there, which is pretty incredible.
I know you were looking at that low HP villager,
Yeah,
dragging out the word probably.
Yup. And now this one as well.
Yep. There's a little caster trick for you guys. If something that is potentially going to make you wrong is happening, just drag out the sentence.
Just add a couple extra words to the sentence, you know?
Exactly.
Give yourself some time to bail.
But honestly, I do think that in all seriousness, Mihai is accomplishing his goal, which is getting to Castle Age and getting to Conquistadors. And things might not look super pretty, but how many games have we seen over the years where it doesn't really matter because the Spanish player's Conquistador is in a dream?
Yeah.
And that's really all you need to do a ton of damage to Viper, who's going to still be very significantly slower.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, Viper's going to take down a blacksmith. Might be able to snipe some of these weak villagers. It's very difficult for Mihai to perfectly lab this out. And I don't even know how many Conquistadors Mihai is going to be able to make. And if he does make them, will he even have the armor upgrades then after losing the blacksmith? So this comes at a big cost. He buys the stone. He wants the castle immediately. Viper sees the Castle Age time, has seen the stone mining, so he knows. And behind this, Viper needs to make some decisions. I really would like, he probably won't do it, but I would really like to see Viper use that scout and go scout that right corner and just find a wood line that is not directly in your base where all the pressure is going to be coming, but a little unlikely for Viper. And it may be too risky for Viper to be far away from the base, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that, this is a, close to a do-or-die game for Viper, and if he loses the game because 6 or 7 villagers on a wood line just happen to be scouted by Mihai, that would feel pretty darn bad. So I can't really blame Viper for trying to play it safe. But as you're mentioning, both players have reasons to be unhappy with the game right now. Yeah, Mihai made it to Castle Age and he's getting to Conquistadors, but his eco-efficiency is now completely fallen off. He's went from 300 resources ahead to, 600-700 behind.
Yeah.
Viper, meanwhile, is still a long ways off from Castle Age on a map that is pretty difficult to defend at this point. So it's going to be a really tough mid-game for both players.
Yeah, I think I'm wondering what the eco expansion looks like on both sides. For now, Mihai's thinking big aggression, but the wood lines are so important. You look at the southern scouting here. Mihai, you don't think you do that unless you're already thinking long-term. That would be a really nice spot for a town center that Viper might not find. Look at the scouting as well from him. Militia in the north, it's all about the expansion with the scouting. Militia over in the east as well. And now the first Conquistador gets to Viper's base, where of course you're expecting Viper to be, but yeah, Viper doesn't have any of that outward scouting. I don't even think that's on his mind at the moment.
And honestly, I love this because this is something that Viper himself was so famous for so long, is just always scouting.
Yeah.
And knowing, okay, this is what the map architecture looks like. These are the points that I need to control throughout the game with castles and army and all that stuff. But he just really hasn't done that so far in this game yet, as he will lose his actual starting scout cavalry, and Mihai making great use of those militia that otherwise have no real purpose.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm wondering if he uses this time to drop that town center. It's tough. Anytime I drop a town center this early with Spanish, and then I can't make any Conquistadors. But if you do see Elite Skirm, there's an argument that making more Conquistadors is going to be awkward anyways. There is a siege workshop for Mihai. And Viper's skirms are going to push forward, and Viper drops a town center there. Again, great Ville count. Great town center for now. But this is a for now situation. Reverse Acropolis, you do have to think about the wood lines.
Indeed, and those are not going to last very long. And on top of the wood lines, both gold and stone are tough to come by. You don't have as much as on a regular map in your starting base area.
Yeah.
So both players really need to be concerned about this expansion, which is honestly why I think the map is kind of cool, because it's very easy to defend in the short run, but really tough to defend in the medium to long run. And we don't really have many maps like that in AoE.
It's also why this map has not been played a lot. It's been banned a lot. It's uncomfortable. It's extremely uncomfortable. Love this from Viper. He's got this little leftover army, which Mihai didn't kill. Almost snipes a villager there, but what a great reaction from Mihai. It would be so easy to lose a villager or two there. Viper just researched forging, by the way, which has to be a misclick, unless he was researching forging for these 2 man-at-arms. That, to me, is a little bit questionable. And Viper will end up losing his little army here, and there's the town center we expected from Mihai in the corner.
Now, he's just prepping for the Tiger Cav switch to 290. You just wait.
Yeah.
You just wait. You'll look real silly in 20 minutes when Viper needs coming in with the Tiger Cav, and they need 1 fewer hit to kill the enemy units.
Well, the nice thing is, it's a little confusing because he did get the attack upgrades. So,
yeah.
It's not like he didn't get Bodkin Arrow, and so at least he has that.
Yeah, he got it extra at the very least.
Yeah. Interesting game. This could be a long one. It's worth pointing out that, Viper recently joined Onimaru. All the players traveled to Brazil, and it was a boot camp, which is, to keep you in shape and whatnot. But to be honest, just looking at the scheduling of all this, trying to get the set schedule, it could actually be a to a player's detriment to have all this travel and all these new things happening. So Viper's forging upgrade there, feeling weird. Just my first thought is maybe you have an extra misclick or two. Maybe you're not quite prepped if you're not playing from home. But I've been impressed with Mihai so far. I've also been impressed with just how solid Viper's eco has been. It still just keeps circling back to when does he go for another woodline? Because I'm watching these militia patrol the sides. I've seen the approach from Mihai. It's all about getting these town centers up. Ooh, but a nice army here from Viper.
Oh, this is at a very awkward angle. The Haegwang Cav, the random Haegwang Cav coming on in, and it's going to easily snipe those Scorpions. Mihai's going to have to scooch on back, and both players are really going to struggle. But what I really appreciate from Viper this game is just how safe he is.
Yeah.
And this is the confidence of knowing that I'm Viper and I'm Wei, so I have a better eco than you do, Mihai, who spent a lot of resources on stone and castles and stuff that doesn't help your boom. And now, Viper's just getting this TC down with impunity, and he's going to be up on 3 with a comfortable spot on the high ground and ballistics skirmishers.
Really, really well played. I mean, really well played. When I've been critical of Viper, it's been he doesn't have the army, right? He would go like for the town centers, and then his opponent would have the army, and he would have no response. But Viper has gone max army. Now he's getting some eco upgrades that he could have rushed before. That is precisely what Viper fans are going to want to see with his push to playoffs. Now, are the Scorpions a problem? Yes, sure, a little bit. But you can always make a couple more Haegwang later on. I think it's all about just not getting crushed by the initial conquistadors.
And so far, Viper has remained uncrushed. He is a ball of titanium, and the hydraulic press of conquistadors is not sufficient. And I mean, okay, Monastery Siege Workshop coming in, and seriously, guys, he is playing so safe, and it's almost reminiscent of what Hera does, right? Don't go too greedy. Just make sure that you can safely look to that next step in the game.
Yeah, this is exactly what in AoE you apply some calculated pressure. You want to have some solid eco behind, lock down the map, add more eco, right? Not skipping any critical steps, not missing the military upgrades like ballistics, not forgetting about the relics. Viper getting housed a little bit, but this is one you're going to cut him some slack for because he's producing from 3 town centers, from multiple archery ranges, the Siege Workshop, and the Monastery. And it's becoming a bit of a map control game. Let's just say that this game ends up being 50-50 in terms of the eco, which I know it's not. How do you think the Spanish fare versus the Wei? Because I just haven't seen this matchup.
I feel like all of the 3K civs will be bad in the late game relative to most other civs in AoE.
Okay.
I mean, a civ like Spanish that has such good defenses and such efficient units in late game, like, what are you going to do? Push, full defense traction or castles with traction trebs that don't get siege engineers? It really doesn't feel especially impressive.
Okay.
And that's why these civs are obviously much more aggressive, early game focused, and snowballing an advantage, but that's not Viper's style. He still has a huge eco, though, and he's crossing the map with the skirmishers.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just amazing for Viper that he's been able to get so much value even there with the skirms. That's 10 farms that were idle for Mihai, lots of villagers inside of the town center. And Viper's skirmishers kind of on their own here. And, ooh, this could be a nice find for Mihai. He could snipe the Mangonel easily. The skirms don't have the support that Viper wants. But there's no ballistics on those Scorpions, so I think Viper should be able to run away from this.
Man, those 3 skirmishers did not pay rent on time. They were left behind. They were the sacrificial skirms. Said sorry.
What type of landlord? What type of landlord are you dealing with, dude?
It's a tough market, T90. What can I say?
Oh man, dude, if you need a place to stay, just call, please. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe a slight mistake there from Viper, but I think overall he's still just maintaining this awesome lead. The concern on his map control, no longer the case. And that castle protects woodline, protects the neutral gold. And the weird thing is, they're both on this side with their eco expansion, right? So typically you'd see like a lot of middle focus. That's at least what we saw in regular Acropolis in Season 4. But no, it's kind of all on this side. It's getting to a point as well where we could talk like forward castle territory onto these town centers. So initially I was thinking about Imperial Age, but I think we see huge Castle Age battle incoming.
Well, that is a second siege workshop here from Viper. He wants to go forward and aggressive. He's closing in on the necessary resources for castle number 2, and that will mean more Tiger Cav production is incoming. Not that I actually love the Tiger Cav here against Conquistadors, unless I guess you run into the castle fire like that, that'll help.
Yeah, that's actually huge.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. My statement there was predicated on not losing a bunch of your units for free.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the numbers, right? And Viper still has some skirms. But it is 2 castles now for Mihai. So the Conquistador number should be much higher, and he does have a lot of siege here as well.
And as is so often the case, the Mangonel Micro is critical, and Viper gets that first 1-for-0 kill. He's got a Ram now coming in, handcart on the way as well for Mihai. But this is going to start to look really tricky as Viper is sort of in between the 2 areas of Mihai's base that he needs to defend, and that is going to be ripe for a castle.
And Viper just using the Tiger Cav there to snipe the Scorpions. If the Scorpions are out of the picture, it's much easier for the Skirms. Man, the Skirms have been so good for Viper. The fact that he played this patient and played into this many of them has worked so well for him. There is this small skirm rate on the other side, but I think the bigger focus is where Viper's coming with the villagers now. He'll lose his Mangonel to the Conquistadors. The Scorpions are still there, but the Tiger Cav and the Ram are pushing the TC. I don't think Mihai has enough to deal with all this right now.
Honestly, he probably should have done a bit of a better job like jumping in and out and punching down the Ram with the villagers, but now the Tiger Cav are there. The castle is incoming. The Scorpions are getting some solid shots off, but the Conquistadors didn't run far back enough, and they are all going down, and this is a mess.
It is a mess. He's dropping a castle next to the castle and also next to the Rams, but the thing is, Viper's eco is completely untouched. He's clearing up the push. His castle will go up, and that might just be GG right there because the Rams next to the castle could just take it down, and Viper... Crazy military. Patience against the unique play from Mihai to try fast castle here. And Viper's going to get that first win to make things interesting here.
Yeah, and going back to the Civ matchup, I feel like this is a style that you're allowed to play as the way against a Civ like Spanish, and why we don't see Spanish all that often is because they just don't have the eco to be as competitive these days. You know, we throw around the words power creep a lot in the community, but Way and their economy means that they can just sit around and do nothing and even play, let's say, safer than normal and still be way ahead. And it's just Mihai had so much pressure on him to get damage done that he simply was not able to do with 1 villager kill.
You know what I've learned? You don't steal Viper's color.
Yeah.
I mean, technically it's Mihai's color too. He plays yellow all the time. But, I mean, this is insane. Like, Viper just exploded in population. And I mean, exploded. He was mildly ahead in early Castle Age, but then all of a sudden, he's got, I mean, right now, 165 pop against 90. Just insane from Viper. He's really doing everything. He's got the dock up in the middle. He's going to make a galley there, because I guess, like, why not make a galley there? Because you can. He's on the way to Imp. And Mihai, I think, is going to play this out. Like, I guess Mihai plays it out because it's the first game, of course. You want to get the nerves out of your system or whatnot, but he is completely dead right now.
Yeah, Tiger Cav not going to be stopped anytime soon. You got the Rams here to help out as well. And you need to make sure that you have the siege workshops for the traction trebs, but Viper already has 2 of them. He's even making some more Rams, interestingly. And Mihai is simply just not getting enough damage done, and those javelins are just flying all over the place towards those conks.
Yeah. Conquistadors are just really expensive, and it hurts your eco to get there, and Viper's had one of the best economic civs, and he's one of the best economic players behind it, so... Sometimes you'll see the Conquistador player lose, and they'll have a crazy pay deep, because they're just smashing regardless. Not the case here. Viper's found enough to basically be ahead in every single stat here. Only stat he's behind in is idle time, which is, of course, a stat you want to be behind in, and Mihai calls the GG. Viper needs a 3-0, guys. If he gets a 3-0, he is in the playoffs in 3rd position. Any other result from here on out, and Viper will not be in the playoffs. But that Viper, that's playoff Viper right there. Like, that was insane.
There were no real weaknesses in his play. He never took any unnecessary chances. He played it safe. He made his own defensive men-at-arms. He applied pressure to Mihai before he got the castle down. And then he just made sure that he didn't take any unnecessary losses. And that's going to be a great way to win a game with a Civ that has such a better eco.
Yeah. Now, what this confirms is Satau gets first place in the group. So that confirms that result. It also confirms that Dragonstar is relegated. Unfortunately for Dragonstar will be down to Gold League with that result. The only thing that would now change is between Viper and Vivi. If Viper wins the next 2 games, Viper comes in last second, takes 3rd place. If Viper were to drop one of these games, then Vivi is 3rd. So Vivi's hoping Mihai could snag one here. So let's see if Viper can save himself. Coming to the last second, it would be very, 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 very Viper to come in and get into the playoff position. And it was very aggressive in the first game. But I would say, I'm going to take that back. It was calculated aggression from Viper in the first game. And now Mihai, he's got Mayans, and he's going forward villagers. So we'll keep our eyes on this. You get 1 Rhino on this map. So I've seen in earlier rounds, some players would come forward with Mayans and try and lame that. Viper just brought that in right away. I believe Viper saw the Vil Ornlu, so he should know something's going on out here.
It is going to be pretty tricky. Viper sees the Eagle Scout right there. He sees the Villager. It has Loom already, so that he doesn't have to worry about that. But right now, Viper is just needing to play extra safe once again. And Mihai, he'll probably get a constellation prize with killing those ostriches, but it's not really what he was looking for to send a Villager that early over to his opponent's base.
Saying that, I'm kind of okay with it, because you still have most of your food, and Viper's going to want to go for Man-at-Arms, which is pretty food-heavy. And Mayans aren't as good as competing there. So as the Eagle tries to stop Viper from pushing in the Zebra, and Viper dishes out some nice damage, I think the logic's still there, that as long as you can get your Villager home or something, maybe Viper will struggle to get the food. But I don't know. The Villager seems like it wants to hang around here. We've seen a lot of strategies this season revolve around an early barracks. But maybe... Yeah, well, there's our answer.
Yeah.
It's an early barracks for Mihai. Wow.
Is Viper sending the Vil right to that Villager? Or is this just for the dock? I mean, either way, she's going to see him, so I guess that's going to be a big win. Oh, no.
It's Viper, too. But Viper doesn't have Loom. But he's a quick walling god, but like... Viper, dude, Viper's like, no way, dude. And now he will get Loom, and he is attacking the Eagle, and Mihai's going to complete the barracks in the end, I believe.
I don't know about you, but I actually don't like that. That feels like the Vil should have gone down, or at least been forced to run back to the TC, but that is what Viper has always been very good at, and that Vil will live to see another day, but the barracks is still in as a consolation prize.
Speaking of living to see another day, though, the Eagle does, and the Eagle can actually slowly heal up inside the town center. So the barracks is up. Mihai's Eagle might heal up a little bit. Viper wanted a dock, but ooh, the spawn's been a little bit weird. With no scouting, you would typically go where Viper did, and there would be the little the opening of the pond. But yeah, Viper's going to find it now. But it did delay this. I think Mihai as well is going to be surprised by this too. You can actually use the militia to go after the Dockville and the fish, and he's like, wait a second, there's no fish here, and he's got to basically make a decision on what direction he thinks Viper's going to go.
Well, it is a lot harder to punish the fish now that we have the fishing ship able to garrison inside the docks. But
yeah.
I guess you could still try and harass the Villager, who obviously cannot garrison. But the militia going to come to the woodline. A very nicely placed lumber camp there from Viper. Maximum surface area for those villagers, while also minimizing the amount of walling that needs to be done. That is just going to be a very nice, safe way to expand your wood income, which is essential for adding in those extra fish.
Mihai has tried to send all these different factors to throw Viper off here, and it just has not worked. Right? Like, he wanted to steal the Rhino. Didn't happen. Wanted to steal Buffalo. Didn't happen. Wanted to kill the Vil. Didn't happen. Deny the dock? No. Disrupt the woodline? No. Like, Viper has adapted to this very nicely. And he has the situation he wants. He wants fishing ships with Japanese. He wants building up towards fuel age, probably for a big attack. The only thing that's awkward for him, really, is the timing on the barracks now. I think he's still going to be a bit late to that compared to your typical builds.
Yeah, I guess that could be the case. Okay, Villager there does make it safely. That's it. He's still not especially close to feudal age. We do see people click up a little bit later on this map, but that actually feels kind of okay. So long as the villagers are able to, I guess, somehow make it to this wood line, Viper's just going to be able to work with more villagers longer in the form of those extra fishing ships.
Yeah, but I mean, sneaky there from Viper. Sneaks in with 2 more Vills. That could easily be 2 dead Vills if he's slightly off his game. And I think you're right. I think that Mihai's still thinking that there's another follow-up to this. The follow-up would be Man-at-Arms. The follow-up could be sneaking in some Hulks or some pressure against Viper. And eventually, Viper needs to take some initiative here. It's been good to adapt to this, but how is Viper going to be the one to actually take some pressure to Mihai's base?
Well, I don't actually think he needs to, at least for quite a while, because those fishing ships are going to be doing work for him.
Yep.
So as long as he isn't losing water and is doing his best to prevent Mihai from fishing himself, I mean, eventually, yes, you need to cross the map and kill your opponent, but I don't think he necessarily needs to. But there's the barracks for the Men-at-Arms, and there's the gold.
Yeah, really like the base for Mihai. It's just good fortune, of course, with a random map script, but if you can get a situation where your gold is right next to your wood line, eventually if you need a panic tower, it protects both those resources, which is so valuable. So that's something Viper doesn't necessarily have as easily here. Viper needs more on wood. Viper gets more quick walls down. It must be so frustrating for Mihai. It's like, come on, man. Like, make a mistake. But Mihai, be careful. Dude, at a certain point, if you run into these choke points in the wood lines, Viper will trap you. So you definitely do not want to lose the value of potentially upgrading this to Man-at-Arms and pressuring Viper nonstop here.
And it will be more militia that are on the way for Mihai. So we're already at 3. Number 4 is coming up. But Viper, he just doesn't care. I mean, those Vills are able to defend quite easily with some quick repairs. Got Men-at-Arm and Double Bit-Axe on the way. And now Mihai is going to be very vulnerable himself to a counterattack to these Japanese Men-at-Arms.
What a game, though. What a game for Mihai. I know Viper's been doing well to adapt to all this. But the fact that Mihai at this level, at this point, round 5, understands, okay, I didn't see it because I had my eagle with my militia, but Viper's surely going to be going for Man-at-Arms. It's so good. And the wall timing is pretty much perfect here. I got to say that, and he's going to have a hole here or something. But yeah, Viper assumes he's fully walled, and Viper will attack the walls. Without those walls, that could be a GG moment.
Absolutely. I mean, you are very far away from your town center on this map with all of your resources. And now Viper's actually having to attack uphill, I think. It's a little hard to say. But
Crazy.
I'm like pretty sure that's uphill. And that's going to be that much more difficult for Mihai to actually or have that palisade wall go down.
At the same time, Viper also gets the perfect quick wall on the berries. So again, incredible. But there's more Man-at-Arms coming in. Viper with more creative quick walling. What is this? Where has this player been all season? We've got the gates, we've got the houses, we've now got a tower for Mihai as well. That's something Viper cannot see and cannot do a lot about. Viper's Man-at-Arms are still not through against Mihai, as Mihai will wait for archers.
And Mihai will get those archers out, but thus far, the defense of both players has been very good.
Insane, yeah.
That said, Viper is in a situation just like the last game, where a game that looks even is going to be way better for him because he has the stronger economy, and he's had the stronger economy all game long. Now, Mihai has some fishing ships himself, but of course, Japanese, very good fishing eco. He was later with his swordsman. That's easier on your economy. And now, he's going to have to figure out a defense, and whoa, cancels the tower to build it right there to challenge Mihai.
Crazy, crazy. The Viper was already building a tower on the gold, decides to just cancel it because he sees this tower. He'll bring the villagers to rush it down. His counter tower will likely go up. The Man-at-Arms are engaging, but the Man-at-Arms still haven't been able to do any real damage for either player. It's 0-0 on the KD, and we have had so much happening. They're both playing at such an insane level.
Yeah, and that's oftentimes what a lot of these highest level games look like, is that the perfect defense has no real counter. So you're getting these situations where, okay, you're trying to force your opponent to make a mistake, but neither player has made a huge mistake yet.
Yep, but eventually they do. Eventually they do. There's a hole there, and Viper will realize, and Viper will run in. Now, Viper's defending at home on the hill. Mihai has not realized these Man-at-Arms are in, and Viper is finally going to kill the Vil, and he's somewhat holding at his base right now. It's really difficult.
Oh, this is so tough for both players, but of course, you know, as soon as I caster curse to Mihai right there, perfect defense, Mihai. Oh, no, he's going to lose another Vil. That is 2 dead villagers immediately, and Viper will eventually just get enough units here at home to drive away Mihai's forces.
Yeah.
And now, Mihai's in a very awkward spot where he needs to get some counterattack damage done somehow.
And he doesn't have a tower offensively or defensively, right? Like, now he can't even tower at home because of the forward tower. He does have 2 archer ranges, though, and I feel like 2 archer ranges on land is going to be much better than 1 for Viper, and Viper's gold is still going to be exposed because he doesn't have the ability to protect both. So I know that looked good for Viper. I'm not seeing him consistently produce range units against double archer range, and while there is still water to focus on, the water's just another thing that Mihai can use to distract Viper at the moment.
Yeah, and he needs to do that, but he's doing a good job of it. That said, the men-at-arms are starting to go down from Viper, so that could open up the opportunity for Mihai to use the barracks again and start mixing in some Eagle Warriors, as they can just interfere with the skirmishers' pathfinding with the minimum range very, very effectively. And now, suddenly, things are looking awkward for Viper T90. Lots of seesawing here.
Yeah, he doesn't have the consistent production. All time, this archer range is producing 75%, which sounds like a lot, but that is pretty much the only military production building that you have been using in Feudal Age after the initial man-at-arms. You look at both the ranges for Mihai on the other side. Mihai has been producing out of both archer ranges 90% of the time. So it has just been consistent army from Mihai. And for Viper, it's fallen off a cliff. He's gone down to the stone to maybe think about more towers. But if you're not on golds, not only can you not make archers, you can't defend your fish anymore with fires. Or hawks, sorry. And Mihai in the north building another dock there.
Oh man, this is so intense. Viper has an excellent villager advantage with those fishing ships. All of Mihai's have been sniped at this point, and yet Viper's got no army, man. That archery range is denied a little while longer. Oh, he's just going to be able to finish it, but that's the issue with the very short rush distance, to your point, T90, about not using the military production buildings. It's just, your opponent is making stuff and you're not making stuff.
Yeah.
And the enemy's units are going to get to your base so quickly that those little disadvantages in production add up super fast.
Yeah, Mihai will know as well. He's like, okay, Viper's fighting with villagers. This is a good sign for me. But Viper kind of traps him a little bit here. There is the town center. There's also the skirms there from Viper. Still a lot of idle time for Viper, and things have definitely gone in Mihai's favor, but I don't know, man. I'm looking at 7-0 on the Eco KD. KD's still even. Viper's on stone, and that he's found other access to gold. I think skirms won't end the game quickly. Archers would, but there's not many of them, and Viper could maybe start to balance it out here, but typically I feel like this season, if Viper is no longer in control, and he's like reacting, we have seen players been able to get the better of him.
Yeah, the eco balance isn't perfect. He's got a lot of bills on gold for not really spending that resource whatsoever. I mean, he doesn't really need to make any more hulks at this point. Actually, no, Mihai is still continuing to produce even though he doesn't have much water control, and he's actually going to snag one of Viper's fishing ships, so
yep.
That's the sort of thing you need to do if you want to start getting back into this game, Mihai, although I do like his food count.
Yeah, well, I mean, Viper spent some food on scouts. Viper's spending more food on the skirmishers. But Mihai gets counterattacked by any army of value. He is still wide open. Like, it is really bad. I would like to see him do what Viper's doing and eventually just plan on 2 towers around your base. But for now, he needs all of his resources focused on making the military and going up to castle. What a messy game.
And I wonder if going on to stone might even be an option.
Yeah.
I mean, a castle drop in this situation could be really, really good, and obviously he's shown a willingness to do that at least in the last game, but the skirms are here. Mihai almost has those resources. There he goes. He's now ready to click up at any nanosecond.
And there he goes. And there he goes. Yeah, so other detail to mention here, Viper, there's no fish where he started initially anyways, and then down towards the south, there's always going to be a dock there. So it's kind of awkward for him to use his fishing ships. His fishing ships are actually surviving because Mihai doesn't patrol in the north. So, oh no, he notices them. Never mind.
I think this is where you say just passing, but...
Yeah, pretty much. I think fishing's a nice bonus for Viper, but the bigger thing is he's actually fixed and balanced his economy. He's got some farms, he has the market, and he's got towers everywhere. So Mayans are almost always just going to play archers here. It will be pretty difficult for Mihai to end the game as quickly as he wants.
Well, he is going over to stone, which does perhaps indicate that he will think about adding extra TCs pretty soon. My concern is that his food income is so awful right now with 3 villagers on food. Those forage bushes getting denied is huge. That you need to still be able to afford bodkin arrow and crossbowmen. And
yeah.
I mean, this is a little bit ugly for Mihai.
It is, yeah. I mean, Viper, the weak point there was he didn't go the army numbers. But the second that he was able to balance it out, you're starting to see the bigger focus for him economically. He's got a horse collar in, which is great when the food count's already so low. I mean, the tower idea was just perfect. And then long term, if you still have water control on this map, players are going to want to expand over these little, this river terrain. And it would just get more and more awkward for Mihai. So it's all pointing to Mihai doing some damage over the next minute or two.
Well, at the very least, needing to do some damage, because there is Castle Age in. The Siege Workshop is definitely a no-brainer in this situation, but like we're saying, guys, he just can't get any upgrades. These are still Feudal Age units. There is no immediate timing advantage. Okay, there's some heavy market usage. Crossbowman and Bodkin are both now on the way, but they're not in just yet, and Viper is absolutely not shying away from littering his base with towers, which is a very good decision here.
Yeah, it still is skirms as well. That's a big thing for Viper. He can always upgrade those skirms. The towers are... The nice thing about an eco so compact is that the towers really protect you. You don't see towers like this on other maps because resources are more spread out. But there's the upgrades. And yeah, for Mihai, it's probably going to be more about a siege push. Now, Viper doesn't know the siege is going to be coming in. And there's the town center as well from Mihai in the north. And he is getting horse collar. He is adding farms. And he is Mayans with the market. So Mayans could do some pretty crazy things with low villager counts.
They have been known to do that in the past. I mean, you're getting a big 20% discount on your crossbowman at this stage. And I like that Mihai isn't trying to match Viper's skirms with his own. That feels like you're playing into Viper's strengths. His eco's been better this whole time. You know he has a fishing eco and you don't. So his food income is better. So just play to the strength of the Mayans with the cheap archers and then just really try and win with the mangonels. I think that's a good move.
Viper's really trying to track this army right now. He's really wanting this crossbow army, and he's going to find the crossbow army in the back. Just to say it again, because viewers are coming in, Viper needs a 3-0 to go playoffs. He's already safe in platinum, but that's not enough for someone like Viper. Has to win 3 games here to get into the playoff position. Any other result, and he is no longer participating this season. And that's a great start, right? And this is also an area you want to expand into for better wood lines and stones and gold. So it is still the question of, will he expect the castle drop and the siege that could be coming from Mihai? But good start from Viper.
And he's making the transition over into the Cav Archers with Japanese. Those are very good against enemy archers. Nice mangonel hit, though. Cleans up a few skirmishers for Mihai. But I do like that Viper. He's got his defensive siege workshop incoming. He's got the Cav Archers on the hill that he's really going to want to put a castle on pretty darn soon. But Mihai's actually changing his angle of attack here.
Yeah, a little bit. He had the mangonel in the south, and now he's got mangonels. He's going for the town center. And it's so funny. People just forget the TCs are right there, right? Like, they're like right next to each other the whole game. You're attacking everything else. Great experience for Mihai to realize town centers are still one of the biggest things to focus on in Castle Age. That is actually way easier to push than any of these towers are, as Viper goes for guard tower. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me to see Viper try and drop a dock and think about a sneaky demo or something against the siege, but that town center's almost gone.
Well, the mangoes do eat the TCs, as the legend goes. His skirmishers are here to the north, so he's not going to be able to get castle dropped there. Mihai is really closing in on those resources for his own castle, and it's now just down to, can he find that area to get damage done? Viper's actually going all the way around to the north here for a counterattack.
Yeah. Man, I mean, Mihai's base is still super exposed, right? But what a crazy job from Mihai. He didn't use the mangonels until he had 3. And so Viper just didn't know, right? Like, Viper couldn't adapt to it. I feel like it's an underrated strategy we're seeing more and more. You actually hide the siege, and that way your opponent can't just match your siege numbers. Counterattack from Viper is good, but he is town centerless for the time being. But the Cav Archers and the Knights get in as well, and Mihai's got to bring everything back home to deal with this.
Oh, this is such a mess. I mean, there aren't many times where you are a 0 TC gamer and feel like, yeah, I have the better eco, but that was Viper there for the past minute, but he has since expanded his TC over there to the west, so he is all fine, and the most important thing is that he is relatively safe. Oh my goodness, that could have been a disaster.
The most important thing is that Mangonel survived on 1 HP, and Mihai wanted to drop a castle right there. He wanted to clear that and drop a castle, which would have been sick. Viper did get the TC on the back, yes. He does still have the farms. He does still have the towers. He does still have the fish. He does still have the army. But this really just comes down to, where will Mihai drop a castle? Can he justify it? It feels Like, this could be extremely risky.
It sure could be. Treadmill Crane even coming in here for Viper. We really do see players pick that upgrade up more these days now that it no longer costs food. So that's always a nice one to have, especially if you're trying to get your own defensive castle up quickly.
I think Viper
right
knows
now,
as well. Sorry, Orlu.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah, he knows. He's like, we're going to do a castle off here, and I need Treadmill Crane. Okay, there's the castle for Mihai. Yeah, and Viper's going to drop his castle there.
Well,
that is an insane decision. It could be so bad, but it could be so good. He builds faster now because he's already researched Treadmill Crane.
I feel the clouds parting and the lights shining on us from the heavens. Guys, Mihai's not all in. He's on 2 TCs.
If that castle's denied, it would be so
No
epic.
way.
It's going to go up.
No way, it's gonna go up.
Okay, well, you need petards, you need rams, you need everything you can to take that castle down if you're both players right now. It is better for Viper because he's got guard tower behind it. You know, and also I feel like if it's castle v castle, the players are far apart, then the unique units play a role, which is better for the Mayans because the Mayans always want to go for plumes. But here, the samurai inside the rams feels actually very viable. So crazy
Mangonels
game.
are already out, and you know your opponent has the Mangonels, which is why I'm a little dubious of this.
Okay, yeah.
Because how are you supposed to be able to snipe the Mangonels with the Samurai and the Rams?
Yeah. Well, petards, if you mass enough of them, can be your answer here. Crossbowmen are in the back for Mihai, by the way, which Viper has got to track. What a game. I gotta just jump in here and say, because Viper's had this score lead for a very long time, but what a great job from Mihai. His eco was horrible early Castle Age, and Viper was completely defended with all these towers, and yet we're in a state where Mihai maybe has the more efficient economy right now. So well played.
Yeah, and like that's what I was saying in the Castle War is that, you know, in all of this craziness, this isn't like okay, you're on 30 villagers and need to win the game immediately. Like, this is just a move for Mihai to take map control. And to your point, T90, yeah, of course, the petards can be good for Viper, but he spent his food and gold on Samurai instead. And
yeah,
I don't get me wrong, chat. I am never going to say Samurai aren't awesome to go for, but I think in this particular situation, the petards might be the play, and that's what Mihai is going for.
You're right, though. It's clear that Mihai knew Rams would come out. He had the Mangonel positioned perfectly and patiently behind. He has spent the same amount of resources, but on petards, and here he goes with 3 Rams. Now, he can actually block his own petards with the pathing here. So that's the awkward thing. Yeah, Viper's there with the Mangonel. But I think once you have the petards, you should be able to take down Viper's castle at the moment. He's waiting for it. I hate petards in this situation because they're so clunky. Like there, you just lost one.
Oh.
But I think you just send them now, and Viper's castle will go down, I think. Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to be probably 4 petards that you need to actually make pay dirt at this point.
And there they go.
He's got like 5 or so.
Viper's castle's gone.
It's Dunzos.
Wow. Viper's castle's gone. Now, where are Viper's Rams and Samurai? He's got 1 Ram down here in the south. That's the only one he had. He's got another castle he builds right behind this. He also has Samurai in the north. But Mihai will be happy with taking down the castle. It's such a tough map to play. I'm still not thinking there's that many positives for Mihai at home if a Ram with 2 Samurai inside is about to raid his eco. like what?
This is where I start saying they see me rolling. They hate it.
Dude, I mean, but it's just chaos. This map is chaos, and you have to adapt through it. For Viper, he's had his struggles, but he's killed 34 eco this game and counting. So, I mean, look at that. The Samurai hop out of the Ram. They'll move in towards the Mangonel. And Viper's other castle's up. So, I mean, you can't say that hasn't worked. He still has the water control as well. But he consistently goes Samurai here. Is that still surprising to you? He's even making more of them with chainmail armor soon.
I mean, they do have that charge attack thing now, so they can better close the gap onto enemy archers. But you still think, okay, it's an infantry unit versus the archers that your opponent's going for, which feels a little bit weird to me. But, I mean, he's doubling down on it, so it's certainly not a mistake.
And whatever you do, you got to commit, I guess. And if you combine them with skirms, it's not like there's a lot of archers for Mihai. And Mihai doesn't have ballistics for his archers, which makes it extremely difficult to pick off the Samurai. I think Viper just feels like he's got the better control over the game right now, and that he can eventually get to this dual comp of Skirms and Samurai. Confident micro there against the Mangonel for Viper. And there's Samurai still running in. There's actually a villager from Viper. What the? Imposter?
Where?
In Mihai's eco, there's 2 villagers that are now dead.
I'm sorry. I was looking for villagers in the spot that, you'd expect villagers to be.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a whole lot of reacting from Mihai. He wants to go imp, which is a great call. But his castle has taken some damage here. And Viper is going to build another castle himself. Honestly, could be a whole lot more aggressive if Viper can get some military support here. What a game.
And even Iron Casting coming in. He's got Arson. Yes, he does. And I gotta say, T90, if you're looking for a unit that's really good at just leveling a base in Castle Age, I mean, Samurai are one of them. They just do a ton of damage to buildings. They clean up enemy units quite effectively as well. So if you have at least a few skirmishers to keep the enemy crossbowmen at bay, this could be very difficult for Mihai to even ever consider safely getting to imp, although he is now on his way.
We have not seen Mihai apply pressure to Viper in a while, and it's becoming a real problem. Viper will secure a very nice position with more stone and gold. Viper will expand his economy even more behind this, which you can see in that corner. Normally, Viper's going to be snagging relics in these moments too, and there's already a monastery somewhere collecting those. Like, Viper is locked in. We've got the Ram in the north, and yeah, sure, it looks a little cheesy, but the Samurai there are going to probably get some villager kills. And it's just really annoying and frustrating for Mihai right now that there's constant pressure. A tower coming for Viper too. Remember, he already has guard tower, so that's a really nice addition too.
And he can grab Yasma if he wants. I mean, it's right there at the castle, so you can just, triple the DPS there for your guard tower. So now you have a tower coming in for Mihai, but it just isn't the same for Mayans. And it's really not going to do a whole heck of a lot to scare away these incoming units from Viper.
I mean, you're going in for a tech advantage. Your archers will become stronger, which was obviously helpful. You then can make trebuchets. If Mihai can keep his crossbows alive and make trebuchets, Viper is nowhere near imp. So I think, as bad as it looks with all the damage Viper just did, I think assuming the Samurai don't take down the imp TC, it's actually still winnable, but it is not looking good. And Viper is clearly locked in, and he's feeling himself right now. Like, he's so confident. You just don't do these things if you don't feel like you got full control over the game.
I mean, the ram full of samurai is trundling forth. It's going to go right after the TC again, but there is Imperial Age. Now, kind of like with Castle Age, your eco is at the absolute limit as Mihai, so his ability to go for all of those archer upgrades that you want is limited. Yes, you can get Bracer, and Bracer is excellent, but Arbalest and Chemistry both feel very out of reach, especially as you also need to be spending resources on trebuchets.
Dude, this is just like peak Viper right now. This is like classic Viper. There's a million armies all over the place. This is insane, dude. Samurai finding big raids in the north. There's 31 Samurai. There's going to be a random demo at some point. I don't even know where to look. I know we need to look at Mihai's army and trebuchets because Viper will start to lose his castles, but everything else Mihai has is just getting feasted on right now.
Yeah, but Viper needs those castles. They are his actual military production as well. Viper's about to click up to imp. He's got 29 samurai, which, no, is not a 70s Japanese movie. It's just his army, but it is starting to drop at this point.
Dude, Ram from Viper makes it to the TC in the north. Is Mihai even going to have town centers? Mihai might not even have town centers. He might have trebs. He might have crossbows. I don't know if he'll have TCs pretty soon. Yeah, he has to fully abandon that TC. And then the starting TC is also going down to the Samurai. Mihai is going to be zero. Oh, sorry, 1 TC gaming. But that's barely anything at this stage.
I mean, especially because the villager count is just plummeting at an alarming rate. Yeah, I guess the castle could go down for Viper, but literally everything else is a disaster for Mihai.
Yeah. And Viper, I think he'll understand. The Samurai have done their job. I don't need to go Samurai anymore. It would be a mistake probably to continue to do so. You got to go back into skirms. Think about the water as well. That's a really nice thing on this map. If you just play full ships at this point, you can just keep Mihai in the middle where he'll eventually run out of resources. So I'm seeing the proper tech switches here from Viper. Losing the castle, thankfully, is fine because he's got his eco everywhere else. The last chance for Mihai is just he's got to continue his push.
He does. Viper's going to try and close the gap there onto the trebuchets. Gee, Samurai are awesome. One treb goes down, and it's just every single unit that Mihai loses is so difficult to replace. And I mean, to be fair to Mihai, even though he's, I think, guaranteed second place in the group at this point,
Yeah.
if you have the chance to knock Viper out of the playoffs, you want to do that. You
Yeah.
don't want to have to face this guy later on.
No, 100%, man. 100%. And yeah, I guess there is that aspect, though, right? Like, I think the series was played yesterday, but regardless, Mihai would have known, I think, if he didn't get the win versus Viper, that the losses versus Viper wouldn't necessarily change his position from second place. The Viper would have known that he needs, as many wins as possible, which, of course, means he comes in firing. But, okay, Mihai makes it to Imp. Or, sorry, Viper makes it to Imp. Viper's just upgrading his skirms. I've really liked Viper's scouting this game. Taking the stone and the gold in the south is awesome. Having that one unit on the right is awesome. Like, look at his scouting, actually. He's seen almost all of the map, so there will be no surprises.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's so nice to see players who really try and emphasize that scouting and to emphasize that map control and don't just sort of like tunnel vision going for just one straight push at the front of his opponent's base. And I mean, that's just what Viper is known for. And this has been a real treat of a series to watch so far, I gotta say, T90. It's been fun.
Yeah, no, it feels like a playoff set, right?
Yeah.
Like, this feels like this should be a best of 5 round of 12 matchup or something. But just because of how...
Host, you can go in and change it right now. Come on, no one will notice.
I mean, they'll both be in a round of 12 playoff set if Viper can win this game and the next game. So,
yeah.
But, the unfortunate storyline for Viper would be if he loses this game or the next game, it doesn't matter how good he's played or how good he's looked today. There were just too many losses earlier on in the season. What does Mihai do here? Like, he's hit a wall, right? Like, this slow push just doesn't feel fast enough. Okay, lands a nice shot. But, like, what do you do with no gold, no map control? You're surrounded by Viper. It feels really difficult.
He feels just stuck in this game. Viper is slowly whittling down all the buildings. Mihai's trying to frolic to the east with his plumed archers, but it's just... he doesn't really have a realistic win condition at this point, especially as the rest of these skirmisher upgrades come in. So long as Viper doesn't massively throw away his own skirmishers, he should be good to go here. Yeah,
he needs a gold. He did actually sneak to the north. If there's one thing I could be critical of Viper, you clear an area, you probably need to outpost the area or fortify the area. But I don't think he was ever expecting Mihai to go up there. So Mihai's on gold again. I'd say if you had a bit more eco, you would go Navy yourself here if you're Mihai. But I don't think that's super realistic. He's just waiting for his eco to improve. And, oh, wow. Doc in the middle from Viper. He's making a cannon galleon there. And he has a Treb already focusing down Mihai's castle.
You do have to be careful, as ships have so much less pierce armor now. It feels so deceptive to my AOC brain to thinking, like, okay, archers aren't going to do anything versus ships. But no, they only have 4 pierce armor, so they get sniped pretty quickly.
Yeah, but it's just another thing that Viper's doing to disrupt. Now, there is a castle in the south, and a lot of eco that Viper has. Pretty casual there with that castle for Viper. That whole corner is going to be disrupted. He also just lost his Treb and his cannon galleon.
And the castle isn't down yet. You got a couple towers coming in. No Katapuruto yet for Viper, which is truly tragic. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. You have all of these small moves that are good for Mihai. I just don't think they're enough.
It's weird, though, because Viper's out of gold right now. Because he fully mined his gold in the left corner. He did castle the right corner, but, like, Mihai actually has gold. You're right, though.
He's got a little bit more to the south of his starting location, so he's got 1,600 there that he can take for a while.
Yeah. And he's got the 2 relics, and the main unit you probably need is Skirm. So it's like...
yeah.
Like, all right, I don't have gold, but... And when you've that much on food as well, you can sell the food to get some gold. So I think you're right. Viper can probably just solve these problems. It got a little sloppy here, but it's also just because of the great fight from Mihai to try and turn this around. Viper Samurai find the stone miners there. And, yeah, I think the castle... Once the castle's down for Mihai, I mean, he's got nothing left. And he taps Viper up 2-0. has to win 3-0 to go for playoffs. My goodness.
Wow, what a treat of a series, guys. What a great one to close out this Group D. 62 Samurai made by Viper this game. We see a ton of Japanese. They're probably the most common Civ we see. We don't get to see Samurai win games very often, so I am happy about that.
It worked really well. Like, I kept thinking Samurai died a crossbowman, but the way Viper used the Samurai was almost like you use Knights, where you split them up into a bunch of different groups, right? And it became so difficult for Mihai to react. I think the key difference in this game for me was the tower defense from Viper. It changed the game so much. Mihai never felt like he could ever do damage to Viper, and Viper was protected. And then Viper could just consistently run into Mihai's base and give him some type of headache. And then over time, it just adds up. And even if Viper was, like 8 minutes late to the Imperial Age or something, 5 minutes, it did matter. And 99% of the map from scouted as well from Viper. Like, literally saw every single corner, had priority everywhere. Viper knows he needs the wins, man, and this is the best version we've seen from him. But now, we actually go to Mihai's home map, not Viper's home map, because Mihai chose to play Viper's home map for Game 2. And, we'll see what happens on Monocle. So, as things stand, Viper needs this win. If he gets this win, he will go third place. We will see him this week in the playoffs. If Viper loses this game, Viper will fall into fourth place, and it will be Vivi in third place and Vivi in the playoffs. Mihai has already confirmed playoff second place. Mihai goes for the Italians, and we have Viper as the Burgundians on Monocle. Yesterday, I was casting. You were in the chat, Ornlu, and you were talking about the Burgundians. Burgundians have lots of bonuses, but why Burgundians on this map?
Well, maybe I was a little bit of one of those people in chat. But yeah, guys, Flemish Militia are a crazy good unit on a map where you have exposed food income and you can dump a ton of villagers onto these box turtles. So they have a very fast train time and good stats, and you don't need an upgrade to get to them. So really, nothing else with Burgundians really matters. Just make Flemish Militia and outmass your opponent.
Now, the issue in that game, because we saw the Flemish Militia do well, the issue ended up being that the Flemish Militia do eventually die to archers and feudal, and Flemish Militia still do cost food. So in the game where the Burgundians went down, it was because they simply just spent too much food and gold to compete with the uptimes. I think that's notable because Mihai is Italians. It's already cheaper for him to go up to the next stage, and they have good archers. So right now I'm feeling like Mihai's going to play defensively initially, try and play archer timing against Viper, and of course Viper might want to then play more skirmishers than anything.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned it in chat. I think the matchup yesterday was Khmer versus Burgundians.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I thought that was a really good civ and choice to deal with Burgundians, right? Because Burgundians are going to be going for the Flemish Militia stuff. I mean, they do it almost every single time. But Italians, quick age up, as you mentioned, and you have good archers. That even gets the extra armor. So if you just lean into that defense early on, you could find yourself in a very nice spot in late feudal age and going for a counterattack.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Like, initially, the way I saw this map, it was if you don't have villagers on shorefish, you're dead. You got to have villagers on shorefish all the time. Yeah. In theory, I kind of agree with that statement. But on the other side of things, it's like, if you're making a unit that doesn't cost food and you can just get enough food to get Castle Age, maybe you then just slaughter everything up here on the very exposed resource. So it's no longer like collect food, spend food for both players. Some people are actually just choosing to take the low-risk approach.
Yeah, and I think that in a game this big, players not being super greedy or risky would make a lot of sense. Neither player has really been super greedy this whole series. Yeah. It's been more aggressive. It's been more unit-focused.
Yep.
So I think that is actually going to be the most likely case here in this game, as we have now Mihai building the mill over here on the box turtles, and Viper not doing so yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is surprising that Viper hasn't done so, but I think for now, Viper's happy with the food rate that he gets from the deer, and maybe Viper's going to switch it up here, because a barracks at this time would not be for Flemish Militia. You can't make a lesser version of the Flemish Militia like you can the regular militia. So is Viper going to play Man-at-Arms here? Like, why barracks at that time?
Huh. It feels like you're... I mean, there's something to be said about catching your opponent off guard. I mean, there's always going to be value to that. But on the other hand, why not just do the thing your Civ does super well, which is go for the Flemish Militia? Or maybe you could go Men-at-Arms into Flemish Militia. I mean, it's not impossible, but you don't have the food for that necessarily.
I don't hate it. I also don't hate that Viper just got the scout hits there. That'll be frustrating for Mihai, because Mihai, part of the advantage of being faster to feudal age here is going to be having that scout to potentially move around and attack some things. But yeah, maybe it's just too militia to just disrupt a little, right? Maybe it's not man-at-arms because of that investment. Or maybe Viper's just not going to do anything with his barracks at all, and we're just so used to the timings meaning one thing. He hasn't done anything yet, so...
Or he could just build the barracks he had the villager on hand and wanted to wall, and then we're just thinking
he's like,
way too much
yeah, we're
this.
just talking... We're just really... We pride ourselves on knowing exactly what's going to come from every decision.
Yeah.
But Mihai's got to be a little
Sometimes
confused,
we like to overthink things as casters.
Mihai must be a little confused, though, because he hasn't seen a single mill out here. And even he has done that, and we think he was going to go archers. There's the archer range for him. Now, when your scouts compromise like this, you're very uneasy about scouting actively in important areas until you get the speed boost. So now he looks for the barracks. Now he sees gold. Again, I think because it's Burgundians, he will assume it will just be for the Flemish militia. And now Viper's scout moving forward. And Viper will also probably check the shoreline. But again, I see some people asking, guys, this game is so important. For Mihai, it doesn't change anything. But for Viper, he wins this. He goes into the round of 12 playoffs. He loses this. He's 4th place. We will not see Viper anymore in Season 5.
And like I said earlier, I still think that knowing that you knock Viper out of the tournament, who is somebody that we would expect to get stronger the later the tournament goes on. And is somebody who usually shows up in the playoffs, even if he, can kind of mess around a bit in the group stage. I still think that's something that you really want to be pulling out all the stops and trying your best for.
Yeah. Also, $30. I don't think it's high up on their priority list, but hey, $30 is $30. Type a 1 in chat if you'd like some extra $30 right now. Like that's something to play for here as well. $30 per win still there. I just think the pride. You finish a tournament when you get to play so many high level players. You want to look back and say, I was the one who was able to get wins from pretty much everybody. But here come the dreaded Flemish militia, but also the skirms, and that's because of the food eco. But saying that, Viper hasn't been on the shorefish the whole time. But it's kind of the dual
not
threat.
the whole time. He hasn't been on them at all, T90.
Yeah.
And he's going only over to them just now. I think Viper was just playing super safe in case Mihai was going for a fast rush, which obviously wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But that could make unit production a bit more tricky. You can see Viper not really able to produce much of anything right now.
This is interesting as well. The scout went down for Mihai, so he cannot look to see exactly how Viper's walling, what Viper's doing. He also doesn't have the scout against any of the skirms. The tower for Mihai is kind of standard. I would expect Viper to maybe do the same. Viper's probably thinking about his woodline and his shorefish more than anything, and he sees the gold villager there. But that's fine for Viper. Like, you don't need that much golds. You could easily just pull away to the town center.
Yeah, you're totally fine at this point here as Viper. His villagers are safe. He did get Boson. I mean, I was joking in the chat yesterday that it doesn't matter what any other bonuses Burgundians have as Mihai does snag a Vil. But Viper is actually playing Burgundians, and he's getting Boson, and he's going to be trying to extend his eco lead in both wood and food.
I like that villager snipe there for Mihai, though. And Viper's got a lot of skirms. He hasn't killed many archers with them yet. And Mihai's micro, very confident there. I think he needs something other than archers, though. I think going into a sneaky stable would make some sense. Or you do the other extreme with your food and you just try and save it. And I see the market, so I think the game plan might be just wait and get to Castle Age.
Yeah, and Italians, cheaper age up once again, could come in super clutch. And then, I mean, the thing with Italians is they have such a broad tech tree. You can really take the game in any direction you want if you get a quicker castle age here as Mihai, especially as he's unlikely to be losing a ton more villagers. Just good defensive game state here for our yellow player.
Viper's probably thinking through. He's like, okay, if he's... I've already shown skirms I have good upgrades. It's likely he could add scouts. If he adds, more scouts, I can then add Flemish militia. And I can continue down that line. And I think he's thinking about it. He's looking around. He doesn't know what Mihai's doing, and now he does. You see the market, and you should know.
Yeah.
We might see Viper drop his own market, and then try and get to Castle H himself. The other thing that Viper could try is Viper could just make Flemish Militia right now, get Arson, and go out and attack that tower. But that feels like you needed to plan for it a bit earlier in the game, right? So it should be no surprises for Viper.
I feel like you can still just play a bit more defensive and go up to Castle H and be fine as Viper. He's starting to add in some farms at this point. He's got Horse Collar and a Wheelbarrow. His eco upgrades are actually looking like a real Burgundians player. And, I mean, yes, he is going to be slower, but you can still hit Castle H with a nice eco advantage, and he's already a few hundred resources ahead.
Yeah, but his army is very clearly not in a position to recover at home, so he does need to be extremely careful here. And the archers go to this wood line again, and Viper, oh, man, clutch save there. He saves the villager. And Mihai is going to back away because he knows that Viper will likely react to this. Falls back to his base. And Mihai, kind of in the same situation as the previous game, where he won't have a lot of resources to work with when he makes it to the next stage. But it's not like the previous game where there's a lot of different ways for Viper to hold. Viper will try and play tower defense, but we've seen games end in early Castle Age all the time on this map.
We do. It's very rare that we've ever seen a game go to Imperial Age here, but, I mean, if this is the series, right, where we have the aggressive maps that end up being a bit more passive, and we could easily see this. I wouldn't even hate it if Mihai didn't, like, play super greedy, but just, you know, apply some pressure with your archers and then add TCs behind it. I think that would be fine.
That was really nice from Mihai there. He sniped all 3 Flemish Militia, and he's dropped... Actually, he was dropping a stable. He actually canceled that idea. But Knights would actually be very nice if you know Viper's playing into skirms. You're right, though. It's been aggressive maps. The way I advertised it was, with these maps, we won't have long games. But when the players are both so evenly matched and both so good, then the games tend to go late. But evenly matched doesn't matter for Viper. He needs a 3-0. Improvements from the other rounds to this round does not matter. Does not send him to playoffs. It's got to be the win. And, oh, nice find. Very nice find with those skirms.
And those are immediately 3 archers going down. This is not what you want. I mean, in theory, you love what Mihai's doing. Make sure your archers are in an aggressive position, so as soon as Castle Age comes in, as soon as those upgrades come in, you can pounce and get a lot of value. But Viper, knowing that, his own skirmishers were in a great position to receive those, and right now, Mihai has been slowed down, but Viper's still a little under a minute away from Castle Age.
Yeah, this is where Viper's eco could go all over the place. And by that, I mean what type of resource you're collecting. Like, not having a market right now can hurt you so much because you're going to be transitioning off of food. You're going to be transitioning off of wood and gold all the time. And very frequently, you're going to end up with one resource is floating very, very high. Whereas if you have the market, you could sell off that food, buy wood. Like, let's see. Will Viper be able to get Elite Skirm right away? Will he be able to get the blacksmith upgrades? Add town centers? It feels like it could be kind of awkward.
Well, he immediately gets Elite Skirmisher and Vodka Arrow. That's not really going to be a problem.
Yep.
So those are going to be the important upgrades that keep him alive. It will take him a hot second before he can really get the wood he needs to add in an extra TC, but he will get there, I think, without too many hiccups.
Yeah, and luckily he's able to just toe the line, and you can tell Viper's scouting, he's thinking about the other things that can happen in the game, right? Town center positions, even the stone for more towers and more town centers. Look at Mihai. He's all in here. He's not looking on the outside at all. He's dropping a siege workshop. Like, he is not thinking about the adaptability of his civ. He's thinking about killing Viper. And Viper just continues to defend perfectly.
I really wonder about this. Maybe he sees the score and thinks things are worse than they are, but Mihai hasn't lost any villagers. He's doing fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, huge investment, University Ballistics, and a Mangonel all coming in. He's on the 2 ranges. I mean, he really needs to basically straight up kill his opponent, and Viper has skirmishers with both attack and defense upgrades, and isn't that far away from a castle.
Yeah, but, I mean, where's the castle go? Do you have an answer once the siege comes in? Because the siege makes things a whole lot more complicated right now, and Viper doesn't know about it. So it's similar to before. The previous game, he was surprised by 3 mangonels. Here, it's just going to be 1. But if I'm Viper, I kind of would want a second TC right now. I would see no reason to add my own siege because I already have skirmishers for the crossbows. He does have skirms counterattack. It's actually very difficult for Mihai to deal with. Having to send siege home would be a nightmare.
Yeah, you do not want to have to be dealing with that at this point. Now, Mihai does have a defensive tower to help him out, and Viper himself is going to need to react to the units that are charging towards his base. But now, the angle that Mihai is choosing to attack from is having to go up this hill, up the monocle, so to say. So he's going to actually be looping back around. I don't know, what do you think of this pressure from Mihai?
Well, I like the defense there. Viper skirms are flattened. I think he's trying to push Viper off of golds more than anything. I mean, it's tough to reinforce, but unless Viper has his own mangonels coming from the hill, this isn't necessarily that easy for Viper. Now, he does have the skirms there. I personally, I'm with you. Just push down the range, then push the TC. It takes you a bit longer, but yeah, if you could just do that, that's still an important area for Viper to get, and Viper's got to be careful here, man. He's losing some skirmishers. Maybe it's worth it, though?
Maybe it's worth
it.
The Mangonel. Mangonel gets some modicum of value, but... Well, I guess Mihai still has the big blob of archers, and they will continue to press forward.
Still no villagers on stone for Mihai. Just 2 vills on stone or something. It would tell me he's thinking about going into multiple town centers in the late game. But the way he's playing this right now doesn't seem like he has any interest in that. But maybe a part of that is how the series has gone, right? Like he has been aggressive against Viper, and he has not quite had enough to boom into the game. So for once, he's going to stay 1 TC to try and break this guy. And then it's also in the back of Mihai's mind, maybe he knows he's already 2nd place. So you might as well, just for time efficiency, just send it here.
Well, Viper is going for what we can call the suburban castle, right? You don't want to be with all the noisy, smelly city people. You want your nice estate out in the country. It doesn't really help protect his main economy, but he is just going to be moving as many villagers as possible over here to the outside.
Yeah, very, very odd placement of the castle, especially when your main TC is being pushed. You could maybe consider a castle there, but maybe for Viper, he just wants this to be a surprise attack. He's going for +2 armor already for the cav, and he'll likely send the cav over to Mihai's base. And like we saw before, like Mihai has no real focus at home. So a couple random units into the shorefish at the very least, and Mihai could lose 10 villagers in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be so careful at this situation. Fusilier are on the way. Viper's even picking up some relics, which is extra good for Burgundians. He is relocating his economy. This is not a simple or easy thing to do, guys. You don't want to just, take 20 villagers and move them halfway across the map. But Viper, just little by little, has been evacuating this central area. He only built 4 farms here, so that's not that much infrastructure that you have to leave behind. And now Mihai gonna have to try and rotate here, but this is where our suburban castle will gain its value.
Well, it's a crazy switch. I'm expecting Mihai to just push the TC, but he actually goes this direction, and I think Viper, he thought all of this area was going to be completely safe. So, yeah, I guess the castle looks pretty clutch now, but it does mean that Viper gets pushed off with the fish that he wanted, and he can't easily take the fish on the left side either. But also, Mihai's kind of caught in 2 minds. Are we pushing a town center, or are we pushing the shorefish? Because he's got all this siege and crossbowmen in the middle, and Viper's main town center is still standing. So, 5 mangonels, 25 crossbows. Viper's got 4 Custilier, 10 skirmishers. Mihai has to actually destroy him here.
Yeah, I mean, he's 5 mangonels, T9D. That is usually enough to completely level a base, but Viper, he is just adding TCs here on the outside of the map. The land development is coming in strong.
And the counterattack, too. And the counterattack as well.
Wow.
If Viper's not under immediate threat, if he's already planned to lose this town center, he can just run around. And Mihai has not been ahead in score at all, so there's no positives there for him. He's only 1 TC, and he knows Viper's got a castle already. So he's feeling like he's significantly behind in villagers right now. If he starts to take losses, there might not be a lot of real fight to him. Which would mean if Viper would be in such a good spot. But honestly, though, the military count for Mihai, it's going to pay off. The town center will be down. The houses will all go down. I really hope he continues to fight. If I knew that this win didn't matter and Viper had 6 different units in my eco and I was struggling, I could so easily justify the tap out being down behind in score. But we don't want to see that, obviously.
Guard tower coming in once again. And yes, guys, Burgundians do have fully upgraded towers minus heated shot, so they'll get the job done. Oh, but T90, the peasants. The peasantry.
You mean Mihai's peasantry?
Yeah, the peasants are just like,
What? Where are they going? What are they doing?
They're going to the strip mall in the suburbs, okay?
I mean, there's just too much happening right now. Mihai had to clear up the counterattacks. I think he might have, like, misclicked his villagers this way. And they're going to be dead. And now Mihai will look, and Mihai will just see guard towers everywhere on the hill, which means it's very difficult to push. Mihai will clear up Viper's raid. But, oh my goodness. Viper now 15 villager lead, 3 town centers on the outside with a healthy farming eco.
Wow. And the big issue for Viper was that food income.
Yes.
He didn't have as many villagers on the shorefish as he would have liked, but those towers, they secure not only the shorefish, which is huge, but also the farming space behind them. So he's going to be able to establish that. Both of his main units, the skirmishers and the Custelier, they are very food intensive. So on so many levels, this was a great move from Viper.
Yeah. And it's been, but if I were to give a one-word explanation as to the difference between Viper and Mihai today, it would be like resistance, right? Like Viper has that next level of defense, and in moments where Mihai has the superior army, the defense has given him time to cook up his eco. In the last 2 games, it's been the towers, right? And so, yeah, just like, well played. Mihai will continue to try and push town centers. But Viper's just able to just drop a couple more guard towers. It's just crazy. Like, typically someone in Viper's position would have their own siege. But he's like, no, I don't need that. He might need it if this tower doesn't go up, but tower goes up.
Fine. It's fine, probably.
Yeah, left side, Viper sees crossbows and mangonels. Still 28 crossbows for Mihai. It's a good engagement for Mihai. Viper needs to back away. But 71 villagers for Viper, 3 town centers, great eco upgrades, and Mihai is still just 1 TC. I feel like at this point you could have a second TC. You could have even a third TC, but maybe Mihai's just so committed to the attacks that he doesn't feel like that's ever on the cards now.
Yeah, and something I really want to reinforce is that the way Viper is playing Burgundians, I think is so much better than what we've seen from a lot of people, where they just laser focus. Okay, that's a huge Mangonel snipe there from Viper.
It's huge.
Holy cow.
Huge.
What I wanted to say is that he's actually playing to the strengths of Burgundians. He got the eco upgrades, and he got them early. He even got the farming upgrades on a map where we usually see players just, vomit, 15, 20 bills on the shorefish. But no, he's still playing to the long run. He's still being Viper.
And he's 4 relics as well. Like, the 4 relics are huge with the Burgundians. You get some food income with that as well. Again, the scouting, man. Like, the previous game, he ended the game with 99% of the map scouted. Here, we're not even an imp. Look at this scouting from Viper. And look at how active he is in these different areas to see if Mihai's expanding. Obviously, we know Mihai has not really expanded. And that Mihai is probably running out of time to ever get any damage done. But Viper, I think I was rightly critical of his performance in the early rounds. It was clear, he wasn't quite in this shape. Maybe wasn't as prepared. Maybe wasn't, maybe there's a lot of different factors. But he's only gotten better this season. And because of how a couple things played out with different sets, he got a little bit of good fortune. And he will likely be in the playoffs this week, which is exciting to see. Because if he's playing like this, good luck to whoever he's up against.
Yeah, that would be the second place finisher of Group A, if I recall correctly.
Which I believe is, at the moment, I don't think it's confirmed.
Oh, yeah, Group A is the one that hasn't finished yet.
That would be, we find out tomorrow, it's either Barles or Leary or Tato. It's probably Barles.
Yeah, that's...
Congratulations, Barles. You got second place in a really tough group. You get Viper in the round of 12. Oh, my God. It's getting second place is going to feel like a freaking punishment.
The Barles video on his reward for finishing second in the group is going to hit pretty hard.
I mean, it's not a new conversation. In previous seasons, I've had players come to me, like, because they'll play a player in, like, the 4th or 5th round where they're, like, super lights out mode, and then they feel like, well, my opponent's got a worse version of them in the first 2 weeks, and I'm like, sorry, I can't make a rule. that requires people to be at 100%. Like, you know, people are human beings and they have dips in form, but man, Viper has played so well. I think he knows he's got this game locked down. Mihai continues to fight, and another castle from Viper, and Imp comes in, and Mihai is about to be raided, and I think any second now, Mihai will tap out.
Yeah, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot here for Mihai, and there's the GG as soon as he hits Imperial Age. 11% difference in eco efficiency this game in favor of Viper. That is wild.
Just so good. Just so good. So clean. He had it all today, right? He had it all. Like, for Viper, he had the military into the eco, the perfect transitions that you want, all the tiny little details that you want in high-level AoE. And for Viper fans, for Age of Empires fans, if you've been following the whole season, you've been waiting for this Viper, right?
Yeah.
And it's good to see it. It's good to see it. So obviously he's in good shape. We'll pull up the brackets and speculate a little bit of where he goes to, but we want to conclude the group and see what this means. I think Mihai shouldn't be disappointed at all. This was likely the result that was going to happen for you anyways, so I don't think getting swept is necessarily the biggest bummer, but it was Dragonstar winning 2-1 over Dark today. We then had Satau winning 2-1 over Vivi, and then Viper with the 3-0 that he needed. Satau will be first place with 11 wins. He went 5-0 in sets. Satau had an amazing season. Mihai has 9. Viper also has 9, but loses the tiebreak against Mihai because of one less set win. And then Vivi, unfortunately, no playoffs for him. Will be Platinum again next season with 8. And then Dragonstar and Dark will be relegated to Gold League for the next TTL season. Yeah, I think it makes sense to talk to Satau a little bit about his experiences. He also won earlier today. Hello, Satau. I know we just watched the Viper series, but you won earlier and you're first place. How are you feeling, my friend?
Well, obviously good, but yeah, I think I played really good. Finishing first is something, but my level is satisfying me. So,
I mean, you were 5-0 in sets. You beat everybody in the group, and I think many people impressed in Viper's case. Viper was maybe not quite as sharp in the first weeks, but you played Viper last week, and Viper was playing amazing. You beat him 2-1. Vivi, people underestimated this season, and Vivi got 8 wins. And then Mihai as well, your teammate. So I wanted to ask you your goals. Obviously, everyone wants to win the whole thing, right? But like realistically, when you looked at the group, what did you feel your chances were in the group stage, and what were your goals before the 5 weeks?
Honestly, I was thinking I could be first or second, because like even if I consider Viper favorite over me, like overall, it's still a group stage. I could do better against other players, and it could.
Yep.
So I was hoping to get first or second. I didn't expect Viper to struggle that much in the group, but I also didn't expect Mihai to do that good in the group. Like I know he's really good, but he played insane. So yeah, my expectations were first or second, but not the way it happened.
Okay, awesome. Was there a lot of training for you? And it's tough. You got 5 weeks. Some people kind of play it like week by week, and they get the experience over time. Or were you putting in some time to play some sets and get a feel for the maps off of streams and the broadcast?
So I started really chill. And then first match against Dragonstar, I was like, okay, I won, but I should have lost 3-0.
Okay.
So then I started training after the match against Dragonstar.
Okay.
Because it showed me that his preparation was good, and preparation pays off, because he should have won.
Okay. Did you train with Dragonstar? Like at that point, you don't have to face him. I know you had Mihai, who's a teammate, but Mihai you had to play eventually. How did you don't have to share your training partners, but just curious on your approach.
No, I didn't train with Dragonstar. I'm not gonna share about the others, because
sure.
Like some might still be in the tournament. But no, I didn't train with Dragonstar. But I just saw that he trained a lot, and that inspired me to maybe. I was like, okay, maybe I can train as much as him, but just do better, like better execution. Because his game was shaky, but he was still playing like super good Dragonstar.
Yeah. Orlu, go ahead. Sorry, I asked like 4 questions. If you have any.
No, it's good. Hey, Satau, congratulations on first place. I want to know, what is your like methodology of going about preparation? Like, obviously, you don't need to like reveal your strats or whatever, but like, do you try and take it like, okay, these are the maps I gravitate towards, and like the civilizations and strategies you go for, or is it some other factor depending on who you're playing with?
Um, I like to train like I'm probably the guy who trains the most against the AI. I train a lot of builders. I want to be sharp early game, and I train a lot of builders. And then before the match, like a few days before the match, I check the games from my opponent, and I spend most of the time thinking about what I'm gonna like do during the games after my opening, basically.
So
Cool.
do you ever decide your opening based on what you've seen from your opponent in practice games, or do you try and base it more around like what opening you like and then adapt from there?
So I watch my opponent, I decide what I want to do after, and then I like adapt my build orders to what I want to do, basically. So yeah, I decide my strategy depending on the opponent
Okay.
strategy.
All right. Cool. Well, talk to me about how nice it's going to be. You have 2 days essentially to chill, and you don't have to play in these epic best of fives with amazing players. But then beyond that, the players who win their groups are not someone you're going to directly face, right? Which could be the case for many of these others. We have Hera, who won his group. He's there. Sebastian, likely Leary in Group A. So I don't know how frequent this has been for you, Satau, to like get that seeding advantage, right? And get to relax as well. So thoughts on what that means for you? Obviously, it's great, but share your thinking.
Well, it's nice to. It's always a really good feeling when you can watch the other plays
Yeah.
and be like, oh, those noobs are playing for top 8. I'm already in top 8. So it's always a nice feeling, and you can relax. You don't have to show your strategies.
Yep.
That's probably the feeling Viper and maybe Lee get when we are playing qualifiers and they are just watching us play the qualifiers.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice feeling because no matter what happens, I'm top 8, and it's obviously a good result in the S tier tournament.
Okay, sick. ACCM Vinchester are playing the round of 12 before you. Obviously, beastly players. So thoughts on who you will potentially face? Of course, they're both very good.
It's hard to say. Like, I think Winchester is playing the best Age of Empire of his life, but overall, I would say ACCM probably has like a slight advantage versus him overall. But I don't know. I think it's going to be maybe the closest set. I can't say who will win.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for hopping in here, Orlo. I don't know if you had any other questions, but we just wanted to congratulate you, Satau.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask about ACCM Vinchester, but you did that first. So
Okay.
nice job.
Awesome. Well, hey, Satau, thanks again. Congrats on all your preparation paying off. Enjoy the bye, and I'll see you in the quarterfinals, my friend. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Have fun. See you. Bye-bye.
See you.